We're going to be tying up a black and pink jig. One of my favorite colors for smallmouth, besides gold and black, is pink and black. We're going to be using a synthetic rabbit zonker. If I can find the link where I got it at on eBay, got like 18 packs of this stuff in multiple colors for like $15, $16 free shipping. That was like a year ago. And I took some of it down to the river and I tried it out on some river smallmouth jigs, some smaller ones, and it looked amazing in the water. It works great, simple to work with, and it gets the job done. And as well, if you want to know how we customize our jig heads like the one we're going to be tying here today, it'll be down in the description and at the end of this video. So without babbling on, let's tie up this black and pink smallmouth killer. Now I've already got a piece cut here. And what I've done, I want this to stick back about 1 inch off the bend of that hook there. And I usually just give it a little haircut. This is really easy to work with. I just trim some of that longer synthetic hair off of it. That way I can get a good tie in with it. Just like so. Just like that right there. And I'm going to take my jig out for this right here. I don't want to stick my finger or anything. And the way I do it, I'll just bring it straight down through the strip first. That's got the synthetic hair attached. There we go. That's what we're looking for right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and get my jig back into the vise. At this point, I'm going to lay this back toward the back right here. I'm going to go ahead and lay my thread down. I'm going to be using a pink today. And I'm going to run this all the way back to right at the bend of that hook. Then run it right back up toward the back of the jig head here. Get that tag removed. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get this attached and get it took care of where we can go on to the next step. I'm just going to lay this right toward the back right here. Push up on it. And just tie it in. That's going to give it a little, bulk to the body when we start adding that bucktail. Give him a look here. See how we're getting him done here. And I'm going to keep that strip as a guide to lay right back toward on top of the shank of that hook. And I'm just going to tie all this in right here. Some good tight wraps. There we go. And then I'm going to work my way right back up, and I'm going to lay some real tight wraps back and forth, locking all this in right here. And the next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to put down some UV resin. You can use crazy glue. That works great. I've used it in the past. But all I'm doing is just putting a coat down here to lock that thread in on that zonker. Okay, the next thing that we're going to be adding here, we're going to be adding some black bucktail to the tie here. So we'll just get us a pinch about the size of a pencil eraser. That's usually a rule of thumb that I go with when I'm using bucktail on smallmouth jigs. Get a piece about the size of a pencil eraser. You can always add more if you don't get enough. Then we're going to go ahead and lay this right over the shank of that hook. Give him a couple loose wraps there. And then just start working it around that shank. And we're going to give him some tight wraps, locking him in. Bring our thread back up. We want very little hair toward the back of it right here. I just call that some kicker hair that'll go right back toward the back end right here. Now the next thing that we're going to add is we're going to go with some grizzly feathers. They were white, and I took my permanent marker a while ago, waterproof permanent markers like a Sharpie or whatever, and I just colored them. Them was white and black. Now they got a good pink color to them. That'll go really great with this jig that we're tying up right here. So I'll just measure them out. I want these to come back about an inch past that fur right back there. At this point, we'll lay it right down the side. Lock him in there. And then we're going to bring him around to the other side, and we're going to repeat the same process. At this point, I want to go ahead and take a little bit more UV resin. Get that section right there locked in. And now we're going to go right back behind the jig head, and we're going to add some more bucktail. Get him kind of measured up here, what we're looking for. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and start pushing this right down over the shank of that hook. I like putting a loose wrap on it, a couple. That way, to me, it's easier to work with. And I start pushing forward and pushing down. I want this to wrap all the way around the shank of the hook. That looks pretty good right there. That's about what I'm looking for. And then add them tight wraps. If you got bucktail sticking over right here, hey guys, that's no problem. This is a fishing jig. And right here, we're going to be adding some pink flash. And we're going to be adding about 3 to 4 strands to each side of this tie. And we want this to come back right to the longest part of that bucktail, or to about to the end of the fur back there. So we'll just lay him right on the side of that collar there. Give him 3 or 4 nice tight wraps there, locking this side in. And then this is where we'll measure him up here. Get him cut. Then we'll just roll over to the next side. You can go across the collar with it, but I prefer just cutting it and just laying it right across on the other side of the collar like so. To me, it's just easier. For each is their own, of course. Everybody's got different ways, and not going to argue with nobody however they see or think that's right for them. Then we'll go ahead and get this cut down. Then we're just going to lay it back, and we're going to build this nice pink color up. Love the pink and black pattern when it comes to smallmouth, whether it's in a jerkbait, crankbait, or even a big hair bucktail jig like this right here when you're out there targeting those old brown fish, or bronzebacks as I call them. If you enjoyed the video, hope you give us a thumbs up. That'll help our little channel out here. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Doesn't cost you a dime. That way you'll be notified when we are uploading right here on the channel. Until next time, stay safe out there on the water. There we go. And then last but not least, all we need to do here is just add or whip finish about 4 or 5. I like doing on these bigger jigs. And then we'll just go ahead and do 4 or 5 more. Seat him in good. And then we add the UV resin. Well, guys, there you go. A pink and black smallmouth jig for those big lake smallmouth. If you enjoyed the video, hope you give us a thumbs up. That'll help our little channel out here. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. Doesn't cost you a dime. That way you'll be notified when we are uploading right here on the channel. Until next time, stay safe out there on the water. We'll see you in the next one.